What is this? All right, IQ, what are you doing? What the heck? 364 megabytes for IQ? Why? Execute package. What the? Oh, shoot. Oh, man, sorry. I've had a lot of keyboards delivered to my desk, but never like this. This is the NuPhy Field75 HE, and on paper, it's something truly special. It has Hall effect technology that promises near instantaneous response times, the kind of tech and designs that you won't find with the big mainstream brands. Today, we're going to be diving into this gaming keyboard and see how it stacks up against the big players. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Chill Dad Reviews. I'm just going to cover a couple quick things here before we jump into this review. And the first thing is going to be, if you're new here, thank you for clicking on this video. It means a lot to me. In my channel, I try to give you my honest, unbiased opinion on a ton of different products that come my way in a chill and concise manner. So that way you have the right information before you make your purchase. At the time of recording this video, this keyboard retails for $149.99. I've had it for about 2 months, and it's replacing my Corsair K100. I've had the Corsair K100 for a few years now, and I love that thing. I think it's beautiful. It's one of the nicest keyboards I ever owned. And I did a full review on that keyboard. If you do want to see that video and get all my thoughts and opinions, you can find that link up here or down in the description. However, when I saw this thing, I was like, whoa, this thing looks pretty freaking cool. We're gonna jump into everything this keyboard has to offer. Let's get going. Now in the box, they give you the instruction, quick start guide, and it actually unfolds into a poster, which is the anime character where I think this keyboard is kind of based and designed off from, and it's called Akira, and I've never heard of this anime character. The only Akira I know is from the 1980s, which is one of my favorite anime movies of all time. I haven't really been keeping up with anime, but let me know in the comments what your favorite anime is and what you think I should watch. Of course, you'll get the keyboard and then a USB-A to USB-C cable, which still has the same accent colors of the keyboard. They also included some extra keycaps if you're a Mac user, and then a tool to pull the keycaps and switches. Let's run down the main features and specs of this gaming keyboard. This is an ANSI 75% layout with 83 keys. It's wired only, which is USB-C. This version has the Gateron magnetic white switches, which are all hot swappable, but with only magnetic switches. Weighs about 1,205 grams. South-facing RGB LEDs, powered by a custom microcontroller unit called NU1, running at 144 megahertz. This is the keyboard's brain, and it handles all the mass amounts of data coming in and out of the keyboard. Hall effect magnetic switches, so instead of physical metal contacts, this keyboard is using magnets and sensors to detect the key press. This means the keyboard knows its exact position at all times and not just an on or off. Has a 2,500 hertz scanning rate. This is an internal polling rate, which means the keyboard is scanning its own keys 2,500 times per second to detect movement and ensure no input is missed. 8,000 hertz polling rate, which is different from the internal scan rate. The keyboard reports its status to your computer 8,000 times per second, which drastically reduces the input latency to a claim of 0.5 milliseconds. In theory, this should be 8 times faster than the standard 1,000 hertz on most gaming keyboards. 8 macro keys, 4 on the left, 4 on the bottom by the spacebar, a large tactile volume knob, a dedicated physical switch to change between different profiles, and a small wheel to adjust the RGB lighting. Now let's cover the design and build of the Field75 HE. The first thing you're going to notice is the way it stands out. If you look at the other big players out there like Logitech, Corsair, Razer, Asus, they kind of stick to the same mold and use, black aesthetics and a lot of RGBs and little screens here. This completely breaks the mold. It has this anime retro industrial vibe with, a metal handle on the left side. It has, physical, gear switches to change the RGB and profiles. The volume wheel is very textured and metal. It has these accents and like screws in it. It just looks like nothing else out there. I love the way it looks. That was one of the reasons why I purchased it, because it looks like something out of a anime movie that is retro but has a futuristic vibe to it. I think this is a statement piece and the design speaks for itself. As I said, this is the 75% layout and it still maintains the full function row at the top and arrow keys at the bottom. Now, this is actually my first compact keyboard. I've always stuck with the full-size keyboards, and I think this is a good sweet spot. You still get a lot of keys that you can use, but additionally, this saves a lot of room on your desk, so that way you get the best of both worlds. NuPhy puts heavy emphasis emphasis on the construction and build quality in their marketing material on this keyboard. The case is made with a high quality ABS plastic, but it includes an aluminum plate and a steel backplate. This gives it a significant weight and premium solid feel. It uses silicone plug connections between the inner shell and top cover to reduce resonance. Packed with sound dampening materials to create a pleasing, thocky sound profile without hollowness. This includes layers of foam sandwiching the plates and a silicone sheet at the bottom of the case. Offers plate-mounted stabilizers that are pre-lubed for a smooth, rattle-free experience on larger keys like the spacebar. Now let's do a quick sound test of what all these keys sound like, but also throw in the Corsair K100 next to it so you can hear what that difference sounds like. Spoiler alert, this one sounds way better. Yeah, this thing is built like a little tank. You know, it's heavy, feels great, got a solid feel to it, nice and premium, looks awesome, has this little handle. I don't think I would be using this handle besides right now outside of this video. Obviously fits the aesthetics of the whole keyboard. Other than that, let's get this set up on my desk and let's jump into the software. Let's see what you can do with that so you can see what that looks like. All right, we're all set up here and now we're gonna jump into NuPhy Studio. That's the web application that's gonna let you customize and real fine tune things to your liking and really jump into those gaming features. We're going to go through, you know, skim surface a little bit here. I'm not going to dive real deep. However, I'm going to show a couple tests with the Corsair K100 so you can see a little bit that difference. All right, with that, we're going to go here and type in NuPhy Studio. So I've already, of course, set this up. Now, when you first load it up, it does tell you to accept a connection or something for Chrome to be able to access your device. Other than that, it loads up pretty quickly. And this is kind of like the home page here. You can see the layout of the keyboard. I'll actually probably just turn off my camera now so that way you don't see my face and I'm not taking up the whole screen. We'll go into the settings just to show you a couple things here. Down here, you can see all the software updates. They do frequently update it. So the last update, September 8th for the web application. And then here on the right is the firmware update. And I did perform the latest firmware update and it worked fine. Didn't have any issues, which is great. Here at the top, you will get a couple settings you can adjust for the auto sleep. So to turn off the keyboard after X amount of time. And then here on the top right, they have their socials and contact information. And they also offer a Windows application. And now to jump back, we need to go and click on the profile, which I'm using the Windows. Now you have the physical switch, which is right here that you can go, you know, 1, 2, 3. I have it set to my Windows default. Now you can only have 3 here at a time. You can't expand this. I haven't been able to see a way. They do give you some recommended games here like Valorant, CSGO. So these are just kind of templates that you can import into one of your profiles, and it does change some of the settings here. However, you can of course customize whatever the heck you want and then save it to the profile and then easily switch between those whenever you need. Now down here on the tabs, this is where you're going to be able to change through all the different features and customizations and, you know, go through all of the gamer stuff. So we're going to start here with trigger settings. I was really blown away by how this was set up, especially, you know, showing the visualization of the actual key getting pressed. So I'm pressing W right now and you can actually see the exact point, you know, the millimeters, how low and how high it goes. And the adjustable actuation is actually 0.1 millimeters all the way up to 4 millimeters. I can set this all the way down to the millimeter of 0.10, 0.10. That's almost instantaneous. Like that is no pressure whatsoever. Now, if you are worried about accidentally pressing keys and, you know, resting your hands, you can configure the dead zone. So if I enable this, I can set this dead zone all the way up to 0.5. So it won't activate until after this point. And same thing at the end of the scale here. Now with rapid trigger, so if I was to select, you know, my WASD keys and I turned on the rapid trigger, this is also another really awesome feature and it's kind of the star of this keyboard. Now on a normal mechanical, you know, typical keyboard, the moment that you let go of the key, it has to wait until it reaches its top point in order for the key to be able to be used again. Essentially, with rapid trigger, the key is ready to go the instant it starts moving up. So if I'm down here and I let go of the key, it's going to be ready to go this moment I let it go based on my configuration on this scale here. So there's no drift, there's no delay. It's ready almost instantaneous when you let it go. I'm going to show you a little bit of what this rapid trigger is actually doing and what that real benefit is on the Field75 HE. So we're going to kind of do a comparison here so you can kind of understand the concept and what's going on. So right in front of me, I have my OG Corsair K100, and then on the screen, I have a keyboard visualizer. So if I press a key, you will see each one light up. I'm going to start with the W key because that's pretty straightforward. So I have my finger on the key and I will press it all the way down. So it lights up, okay, it registers. Now, as I go up, pay attention to the travel distance here. I'm going to go up pretty slowly, as slow as I can. And as I go up, it kind of doesn't deregister or, you know, clear out the signal until maybe about halfway up, more or less. I'm going to do it one more time. So I'm going to press down W key all the way down, lights up, signal sent. And I'm going to go up slowly here. And you see there, it was kind of, at least I would say halfway up. To really show you this again, but more of like the rapid kind of like tapping that you would do typically on a keyboard when you're playing games, really fast up and down, and kind of twitch my finger. It stays the majority of the time lit. It's sending the signal continuously. All right, have the Field75 HE set up in front of the camera, and we're going to do the same steps here. And I'm going to press the W key, and you're going to see it light up on the on-screen keyboard visualizer. Lights up fine, no problem. So as I let go here slowly, it's, I mean, I barely move my finger. It's almost instantaneous. We're going to do it one more time. Try to slow it down a little bit. Move my finger a little bit up here so maybe you can see the actuation distance a little bit. I'm going to press all the way down and I'm going to let it go ever so slightly. Gone. And now we're gonna do the same rapid wiggling movements on the W key. So right here, I'm gonna wiggle the hell out of it and try to go up, down a little bit, move it around. And you can see it's lighting up like a Christmas tree. I mean, I'm trying to wiggle it as fast as I can, and it's blinking, it's blinking. That is the rapid trigger in effect. It clears out the signal almost instantaneous. It's super fast, really cool stuff. And under keybinds, you can change whatever the heck you want here to your heart's content. You can just basically drag a key, and they have a good decent amount of stuff here that's already kind of built and baked in that you can pick and choose. Next, on the advanced functions, this stuff blew me away. I'm not even sure how to use this or implement it yet, but I'm gonna find a way. First one up is dynamic keystroke. So you can set a key to do 4 different actions on a single key press just based on its position, so the actuation point. Next is mod tap. So this is 2 actions on a single key press. This is based on duration, more or less. Toggle key, toggle it on and off in order to do what you want. Rapid shift is an interesting one. Set 2 keys to like monitor, and whichever one is pressed the furthest downwards, you can have it do a macro or action. And lighting effects is pretty much what it sounds like. It's the RGB configurations. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here. It's there, it works, and it's customizable. And macro recording, you guessed it, you can create macros. Congratulations, you are the winner. And switch selection. So if you happen to change any of the switches on the keyboard, you would have to select the one that you have, and then that's it. And under mode settings, you can disable a couple of the common, culprits here if you're gaming and you happen to accidentally press it. And then here on the right, you can set the tick rate, the anti-wobbliness level. Below that, polling rate, you can set your high or low if you want to use the full 8000. Now there's another gaming feature baked in this keyboard, which is a little more hidden and subtle. It's SOCD, which stands for simultaneous opposing cardinal directions. So if you're tapping AD, to peek around a corner and strafe and do all that, it acts as a tiebreaker. So it prioritizes your most recent input, which will help clean up messy signals and makes your character movement feel a little bit crispier and precise. Now there's one final important thing I need to show you. If you click over here, you'll find that like button. Go ahead and smash it for me. Please consider subscribing to my channel for more future content and help support a small creator. All right, got another easy test here. This is keyboard latency. Now this is just using a website, and it's going to register the response times and the input of the keyboard. Now Now, there's a lot of different ways to do this, and this is not by any means any scientific, perfect accuracy of this, but just want to show you here a little bit of the difference between the Corsair K100 versus the Field75 HE. And look at the top of this page, some really cool t-shirts. Check this out. If you're looking to add some standout pieces to your wardrobe, then you need to check out Into the AM. They offer unique, comfortable, quality clothes at a fair price. They just released their fall collection and have a ton of great options that fit your style and needs. Go use my link in the description to get yourself 10% off and pick yourself up a pretty cool t-shirt. All right, we're gonna continue with the W key because I love getting those dubs fast as humanly possible. I mean, it jumps from 80, 90, 100. Yeah, so that's the K100 response time and delay. And now we're gonna try it on the Field75. All right, we're gonna refresh the page so we have a clean slate. All right, here we go on the Field75. Let's go ahead and mash that W. I'm mashing it as fast as I can. It's way faster, and you can clearly see it's mostly averaging 40, 50. I mean, it dips a little bit. Pretty clear winner here. The Field75 HE has way faster response time and less delays than the Corsair K100. All right, let's break down the pros and cons, in my opinion, on this keyboard so far. The first thing for me is going to be the unique and stylish 80s anime meets industrial design. It stands out from the crowd, and you're not going to find anything else that's going to look like this. The second thing is going to be the simple web app that's bloat free. You don't have to install anything. It's a huge plus and a game changer. Next, the build quality is top notch and the typing experience is so satisfying. The game changing rapid trigger and adjustable actuation is going to allow for a huge amount of customization and macroing, something that you could never do before. The last pro on the list is all the switches are hot swappable. So if you need to repair something or mod it in the future, you can still do that. Now, one of the first major downsides for me at least is the volume wheel. It's not customizable. You can't change it to do anything else besides volume, and I don't really have a need for using volume on my keyboard. I have the Rodecaster Pro Duo, which I use for all my audio, so it would have been nice to change that to something else like a zoom or scroll. Anyway, they do seem to update the software and firmware on a frequent basis. I do see updates every few months, so it could happen in the future. The next thing is really just about the 8,000 hertz polling rate and just the marketing point of it. I mean, it's kind of gimmicky. I mean, all companies do that and will continue to do that. It's how they get you to buy stuff. You're not going to notice the difference in real world usage of playing games and doing different things on your computer. Almost negligible when you use, any other Corsair or other top brands out there. They're all really fast. It's not going to mean I'm going to be able to be so much better and I'm going to get all the kills and I'm going to be able to do all this stuff way faster than you. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't at the end of the day. It's just a marketing point. So yeah. And the last minor thing is going to be that it's wired only. This is not really a problem for me. I don't care, but for anyone else out there, this is not going to be for you. You're going to have to look for something else. So one of the key takeaways I want you to learn from this video is sometimes stepping out of the norm and getting away from the big mainstream brands out there, especially in the gaming community. You might find yourself getting something that is innovative, unique, different, and a better package all around. I think this is a perfect example. That's all I have to say about the NuPhy Field75 HE. I love this thing. I think it looks something from the future, totally unique, something you're not going to find anywhere else. It has amazing features and tech built into it. Typing on this keyboard is so satisfying, and it's well beyond some of the other keyboards I used in the past. It checks all the boxes, and it's even cheaper than the big mainstream brands out there like Corsair, Razer, and Logitech. Some of those keyboards on the high end are like $200 and up, and that's not even including Asus. I mean, their stuff is way overpriced. That's a whole nother story. It is much cheaper, but you're not in their ecosystem, and they do offer some other things that this doesn't. However, I think this is a great gaming keyboard, and I highly recommend you check it out. If you're interested in learning more or purchasing this keyboard, you can find my Amazon affiliated link in the description. That's it, everyone. I'm out of here, and I'll see you in the next one.